How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the channel. This is Big Daddy Dave, and this is a continuation of a Let's Play series for Farming Simulator 22 on the mod map Lands of La Mancha. And where we last left off, we had a pleasant little surprise, a $500,000 surprise. Uh, don't know how, don't know why, but about 200,000 liters of solid fertilizer just appeared in our new production facility. We put in 10,000 liters, roughly 10,000 liters of manure, and we should have gotten half of that in solid fertilizer. So, 10,000 in, about 5,000 out. Well, we put 10,000 in and got 200,000 out. I don't know why. It just was there. We just got lucky, I guess. Why not? So, we got a bit of money. We got almost $700,000, and we got a pair of contracts we're getting ready to work on. A couple silage contracts came up, and we're gonna bust them out real quick. Hopefully, that'll push us just over the 700,000 mark, and then we got a bit of shopping to do, and I'm rather excited to get to going on it. So let's get to work on these contracts. We're gonna start with this little voucher back here, little voucher G, and this is for field 50. Let's see. I probably don't have enough space to squeeze through there, so we're gonna come out this side. There we go, perfect. So with this particular mower setup, I tend to try and go in a clockwise motion around my fields, but because this particular mower, the rear deck specifically, shoots off to the right side of the tractor, it's not really going to be feasible to get that little bit extra that I like to get on a clockwise motion. So I'm going to do a count. Oh, but there's signs. Well, you know what? We're gonna give it a whirl. Fold. Lower, turn on. Lower, turn on. And yep, we already took out our first sign. Maybe we'll take that back to the house with us and keep a souvenir. Why not? I mean, I've seen people take like speed limit signs and rip them down after crashing them and take those home with them. It's kind of a little trophy of their stupidity. I don't know where that... Oh, I am way far off the edge of the field. Alright, now that that kind of outer edge is complete, we can go in the clockwise direction like I like to go in. We'll come back and get those little turn edges. But yeah, no, we got almost 700. Whoa, almost $700,000 just to kind of play around with. I mean, we've got a fair bit of cash just sitting on hand, and you know how much it was burning holes in my pocket prior to having $700,000. Anytime I get a little bit of cash, oh, I got something to buy. I got something to buy. Well, yeah, now I've really got the itch to buy something, and I think that it's going to set us up really good for uh, actually kind of a couple of things we got going right now. So, not to reveal too much, but I think it's going to blend in kind of perfectly with uh, everything we have going at the moment. It's going to work well with the fuel refinery. It's going to work well with uh, the solid fertilizer dryers down at the farm. We've got, you know, a couple of processes that will kind of tie into what I think I'm going to prepare us for. So come on, get this sign off. There we go. So I'm really excited to see all this kind of come together. We've worked really hard to get to this point, scrimping, saving, busting our butt on these contracts, getting every nickel and dime that we possibly can to work towards our favor. And you know, we've also had luck on our side. I mean, $500,000 just lying around in solid fertilizer. I mean, yeah, I would call that pretty lucky. So I think all in all, that's going to be something that we're going to be really thankful for in the end, and we're going to be able to actually do a whole heck of a lot with it. So right now we're just going to finish up these couple of contracts that we have. Okay, got that mowing done there. Now let's go ahead and drop this stuff off. Just down the road from the field. The farmer will be able to come by later and pick up all his equipment without too much of an issue. So now we need the windrow. And if we look at the map, you can see both these contracts are going to the animal dealer down at the end of the ravine there. So it's going to be quite a distance to travel that far. So it's gonna kind of stink going all that way, but just gotta do what we gotta do. see. I'm gonna go ahead and take a few laps around with the windrower. So I hired a worker to continue windrowing the field over on field 50, and I came back to the shop, and on the way back I called the owners of the various pieces of equipment here for these two fields and asked them if they'd be willing to allow me to use the separate pairs of equipment for each other's fields. That way I can finish the jobs that much faster, using both sets of tractors, both sets of pretty much everything. They were nice enough and gracious enough to go ahead and agree to use it, and I told them that I would give them a uh, discount on the rate. So in the end, I'm going to make a little less money doing it this way, but at the end of the day, I'm going to be able to get the jobs done faster and move on to uh, things around the yard. So that, I think, in the end is going to work out better for everybody. I think everyone's going to be a bit happier in the end. So that being said, I am going to start picking up this loose grass. And this... Hold on. This guy is just doing terrible. Stop, 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 stop. You're fired. Okay, well... That sucks, because I was hoping for them to be a bit further ahead than this, but oh well. We're going to try and make as tidy of a windrow as we can, but just doesn't seem like the worker is going to cooperate with us, which really stinks. Alright, I'm gonna call in the big guns because I'm to the point to where I want this done. I want this done fast. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna bring down my tractor with my windrower. And ultimately what this is boiling down to is I've got the money to expedite this stuff. I don't need to, sit back and do this the hard way. I can kind of, you know, I can expedite it. I can make this better, faster, stronger, quicker. So I'm going to run back to the farm real quick, pick up my tractor, my windrower. I'm going to exchange the windrower. I think I'm going to buy a different one. And bring my mower along with me. So, or not my mower, my baler. Ooh, but I won't be able to connect it all. Alright, you know what? I'll just see you back at the farm. Alright, back here at the farm, I'm going to go ahead and pick up my tractor. Grab my baler. Let's see, yeah, the baler's right there. Let's see. Now, the reason I want to grab my baler and all this stuff, one, it's a square baler, so it's just going to be constant, a constant, 240 centimeter bales just, spitting out as they appear. But what's also important, by having this baler, I'll be able to use the new wrapper that I intend to purchase. First, we need to purchase the new windrower. Yeah, there's going to be a couple of purchases to be made, but in the end, it's going to be worth it, I think, because it's going to make our grass contracts that much quicker. We really didn't have to borrow any of the equipment that we did, but I was planning on doing the work, but I wanna hurry up. I want to get this done. You know. So I will cut us back in once we make it to the shop and show you what we're gonna purchase. See you there. All right, we're almost to the shop here. And we're gonna pull around this side. Right about here. And now we're gonna purchase us a windrower. Right there. Alright. That'll work just fine. Oh yeah, look at that. That's picking up grass like nobody's business. Oh hey, another windrower. Alright, check that out. In just a few short passes, we were able to pick up this whole area. This is a far better method of baling and doing everything we need to do here. Alright, let's fold this away. Lift up and shoot out that bale. Fold it away. Okay. 80, I think, is this one. Just, yeah, just down these two hills. Okay. So we did this one just last season. And then we are gonna just stop right here. Pull that there. Whoa, wrong one. Pull ahead a bit. Perfect. All right. Head back to the shop and pick up our bale wrapper. Now what's nice about doing this, I mean, we'll be able to take on any contract now when it comes to grass by ourselves. We won't need to purchase or we won't have to rent the equipment or do anything like that anymore. We've got everything we need to be able to do it and do it right. So that's pretty awesome. And with the skid steer loader there at the farm, we'd be able to load everything up onto our long flatbed trailer and be able to take it all the way down here without having any issues. Everything will be able to strap down. It'll make it here all safe and sound, and we'll be perfect. We'll be good to go, really. So let's see. Let's park here. We'll activate the buy menu. We want wrappers. There we go. That's the one we want. We want right there. Sure. Do we want some kind of trademark foil color? You know what? Nah. We'll do black. We'll do a black foil. But we do want just a standard looking machine. All right, now this is exactly what we wanted. Alright, let's go ahead and wrap up these bales real quick, and then we will do another fast mowing, baling, wrapping, then we'll start transporting. It's going to take a couple of trips because we do have the different bale types, but in the end it'll be worth it. It'll be all good. And check it out, we are wrapping the bit. Oh, you know what? Is it that one that's automatic drop? It is! Check it out. 6.5, I'm sorry, 6,500 liters of grass. This is the largest bale that you can wrap, specifically with this wrapper. So you can do large square bales and large round bales with this particular wrapper. So this was really awesome in my opinion. So you can make big bales, wrap them, and be good to go. You know what's really cool about this machine? You know, you kind of look at the way that it works. If I zoom in on the rollers, like you can see just how with a round bale it just kind of rotates and spins the bale itself while then wrapping it at the same time while it spins. That's such a cool little concept, but the fact that it also can compensate for the square bales and these particular rollers can, shimmy around and, you know, not let the bale just go flying off track. That's pretty sweet. Kind of a cool concept. You know, I've mentioned this a few times before on this channel. If you really kind of sit back and think of all the engineering that goes into creating some of this equipment, the track, not just the tractors themselves, but like some of the finer machinery, the seeders, the cultivators, the plows, like all this stuff, like it takes like a lot of like really working through the problem, working through and understanding, what do I have to do in order to overcome said problem. It's really cool to kind of think about and to see what has been come up with, over the years with, you know, when farming was, first starting out, you started using well, you used person power originally. You use people and the sweat of their brow, and then people eventually started using, domesticated animals like horses and stuff to start, you know, tilling up the soil and doing other various jobs. Then, you start getting the rudimentary machines to start doing things. Like just the natural progression that you can see from these like very crude tactics to now what we have today is just amazing. It's really fascinating to kind of think about and to, you know, see that kind of evolution. You know, it's not obviously not something within our lifetime, but it's something within, recent history. That you can see just that natural progression of, the from going from, hard labor tactics to now all of a sudden you're using, machinery to make things easier and easier and easier. And with those advancements, you then get, the advancements in the ability to grow crops in areas that those crops really are not meant to grow, or getting better yields using, certain techniques, or use of less water. And like it's a really fascinating field to study, to, just to kind of dive into. If you're ever curious about, the kind of evolution of farming and the various techniques and stuff, I recommend diving into it, checking it out, because it's you'll learn like so much just by picking up a book or going on the internet and figuring out just like where things were. And that's just history in general. Knowing history is a good thing. You kind of grow to appreciate the things that came before you, and including like what you see here. I mean, case in point, think about these mowers. This front deck mower and rear deck mower. Think about all the various gears and cogs that are in this rear deck mower to get the horizontal motion of power. So you're getting power from your PTO, which is coming from your engine. Forget about all the complexities that is the modern combustion engine. And then you route that through, all that power coming through, the various shafts and whatnot, out your PTO. Now start to think about all the various gears and cogs and, things that are or that are after that, source of power down that shaft that then turn at such a high rate of speed to cut the grass. Like, just the amount of engineering within those two mowers is a technological masterpiece. Let alone you think of some of the other bigger equipment or even smaller equipment. Really, you figure like a harvester. The intricacies that are within that is just unbelievable. I said, I don't mean to nerd out on you or anything like that, but it's just, you know, something I always found fascinating. Whoops. See, this field's going to be a lot faster because we're going to be able to turn around, get the baler and the windrower, do all that in one pass rather than what we were doing before. I really do like this kind of setup, this front deck, rear deck mower setup, with the K brand in the back. Because it's a fixed position out to the side there, it's not as easy to kind of skip patches. You got to turn really hard in order to miss anything with this particular setup. It's really nice. And then if you get a slightly larger front mower to where, yeah, you're going to be doing some overlapping, but let's see, I turned really hard there and I did miss some grass. But you get a little bit bigger of a front deck mower, to where they're going to overlap, but you're going to prevent that from happening. It won't matter how much you turn, how hard you turn the wheel, you won't be able to overcome uh, the gaps that are between the two mowers. I'm pretty sure I missed just a little patch back here. I'm just going to pick that up. Okay. We're going to park this off to the side here because now we don't need it. And now grab our tractor. Lower that down and fold it out. Okay. Let's see, I'm trying to make a wide enough turn to not miss a whole bunch, but that's not going to happen on this narrow field. Okay. Just want to pick up every little scrap that I can. Now I know they make the balers where this kind of style windrower is directly attached to the windrower itself. And although I do like that baler, I think it's like $150,000 for just that baler and windrower combination. To where this equipment all in, I think is like $40,000. It's significantly cheaper than the alternative. Um, so that's why I tend to go with this setup as opposed to something else because this is a lot more attainable off the bat rather than trying to scrimp and save just to get that one piece of equipment that really only comes in handy, every little while. And this does the exact same thing that the other one does. Yeah, if you turn too hard, you're going to come up with a pretty horrendous pile that you leave behind. But you just got to be mindful of it. It's not that big a deal. Let's see. So we turn that off, raise, spit out the bale. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to have the worker take this equipment back to the farm, because we don't need this specific equipment anymore. We'll have them, you know what? Maybe about right here? Something like that. Okay. And now we're going to take this equipment hook up to the wrapper. There we go. Now, I'm not sure if this is true or not, but I've heard that silage tape that comes in black, there's like specific purposes for each color tape. Some can be used as like kind of marking for various farmers. They'll have a brightly colored, um, excuse me, a brightly colored wrapping is kind of their signature for what's theirs, especially if they're in a kind of populated area kind of thing where there's a bunch of different farmers using up different portions of a field or whatever the case may be. But the traditional blacks and whites wrapping, um, the black wrapping is used tend to be used, and again I could be wrong. This is what I've heard, to quicken the silage making process because they get hotter on the inside, which will help decompose the material on the inside, um, and start the fermentation process. Wait, is it fermentation? I think that's correct. Um, but I mean, long story short is but the white tends to stay a bit cooler because the black is absorbing the rays from the sun, allowing it to have and retain more heat, as the white is reflecting most of that energy and dissipating it. So bales that are in white wrapping tend to take longer to become silage than those in black wrapping. Um, Again, I've heard that's the case, but I'm very frequently wrong. So if you happen to know the answer to that, leave a comment in the video and let me know, because I'm genuinely curious if that's the case or not. So we're going to pull around here, and then we're going to have this worker take this equipment back. Actually, no, no, we're not going to have a worker take it back. Whoa, turn. Whew, I reached the limit of my turn. I couldn't prevent myself from going into that other field. Anyways, yeah, so I'm actually just going to deliver this back to the farm, and then I'm going to pick up my truck and my bale forks for the, we'll use the skid steer. We'll use the Massey to load up the trailer. That way, we could potentially take everything. Yeah, let's do that. We'll go ahead and grab the Massey, grab the trailer, grab the truck, and we'll start picking up some bales. Yeah, we'll see you back at the farm, pick up everything, bring you back out here. We'll see you in a bit. if I'm able to handle 3 separate bales. You know, I'm gonna say no just because of how much this thing's bouncing around. So let's just limit ourselves to 2 for now. No. So I know you're not supposed to use bale spikes like this for silage bales. Reason being is that it will pierce the outer, cellophane or whatever is used, the wrapping, which you don't want. And they do make patching and stuff, so there are people who will use these kind of bale spikes, and then they'll just patch it with some additional, so it's all sealed up nice and tight. But in this case, it's okay. once we grab these last couple of bales, we'll be good to go. Man, 500 horsepower, and look how bad this thing's squatting. Alright, well, this is going to be a long trip. Oh no, and I forgot the round bales too. Alright, you know what? We'll have to come back for them, because that's just not in the cards right now. Alright, so this is a long trip. I'm going to bring us back in once we actually get down to the animal dealer, because this is going to be brutal. We'll see you all down there. Alright, we made it down here. Couple of snags along the way, but thankfully they weren't too big of a deal. Let's see, then over here. See. So now that should be both contracts complete. Perfect. What's great is now that we've got our mixing wagon, we'll be able to rip all this up and just throw it directly into our silo. That'll work out real nice. Alright, we are going to go back to the fields, pick up those other 2 bales. Alright, let's pick up these 2 bales here. Perfect. Alright, now we are going to load up all of our equipment. Oh, come on, there we go. Load up all our equipment. Oh, man. And we're gonna head back to the farm because holy smokes. Alright, we'll see you all out there. Oh man, that was a lot. But now we got paid. What are we gonna do with that money? Well, we're gonna buy some property. And specifically, I want to find, yeah, down in this southern section here. I'm thinking this suite of fields right here. There we go. So now we own this chunk of land here, a couple of barley fields that are growing, another canola field that's growing, as well as another sugar beet. Let's see. That's more canola right there. How much is that? 75? That's corn. Let's see, both these are, yeah, both those are growing, so they're planted. Alright, check it out. We've got a good chunk of land right now. We're going to have to pick up a different header for our harvester to be able to harvest that corn, but that's going to be a problem for another day. I think that's pretty awesome. We still have almost $359,000 left over. Got a bit of a mess to clean up around the yard, but that's okay. We will get that all picked up. But I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, please show me by liking, subscribing, commenting, following, doing all the things that the algorithms enjoy you doing. That shows that you are engaged with this channel. And that being said, I hope you have a fantastic day. Take care.